Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. In today's video I'm going to be showing you this 2020 GMC Acadia. This one was actually refreshed for 2020, so I'm going to go ahead and show you the interior and exterior lighting of this 2020 GMC Acadia. So coming to the front of this GMC Acadia, this one is the AT4 trim, and honestly this trim looks really nice. I'm going to actually be doing a daytime view of this trim. Here coming to the headlights. The headlights are going to be LED, and I really like the C design shape of those daytime running lights, and it looks really good. I'm gonna go ahead and turn on the low beam so you guys see how the low beam actually looks like at night in this 2020 Acadia. So I just turned on the low beam, and the low beam actually looks really good. Everything's actually LED right here on the headlights, and there's two reflectors for the low beam, and there's actually one reflector for the high beam. But let me go ahead and turn on the high beam so you guys see how the high beam and the low beam looks together. All right, so I just turned on the high beam, and the high beam is actually the one inside, and the low beam is going to be the two reflectors on the outer side of the headlight. But overall, the design of this headlight is actually really good, and I like the fact that everything is actually LED right here, even turn signals. So I just turned on the hazards, and the hazards actually look really good. They're LED, and I like the fact that actually the daytime running light does not turn off when the turn signals are actually on. And right here on the mirrors, you're going to see an LED turn signal indicators. And I just turned on the fog lights, and the fog lights are LED as well. But I really like the fact that actually everything is LED up front here, and it looks really good. And I really like the design of the headlights, fog lights, and just the front end of this SUV. So coming to the back, I like the fact that actually the taillights in the back are actually LED. So that strip is actually all LED, and I really like that. And the design of it actually looks really good. Of course, you have your halogen turn signal. I'm going to go ahead and turn them on now. And then you have a halogen reverse light. And then the third brake light is actually LED, which is really nice. And coming down here, as you guys see, the plate numbers are actually LED, which is really good, and it's making the ground actually pretty bright. There is a GMC logo light in the bottom of the back of the SUV. Basically, this is where the sensor is located. If you put your feet underneath the SUV, it will basically open the tailgate, and I thought that was very clever from GMC to put that light down there to basically tell you the sensor of the tailgate is actually located where the light is. So coming right here in the trunk, you will see a good amount of light, but most of the light is actually shining right there to the second and third row. But in the trunk right here, there's not too much light. I wish GMC actually does something about that, but other than that, it's nice and bright back here. So I came here to show you guys how the low and high beam actually looks like at night in this SUV. I have the low beams actually on now, and they are actually pretty bright. I'm gonna go ahead and turn on the high beam so you guys see how the high beam actually looks like. So as you guys see, I have my high beam on, and it points up to the trees right there. And you could actually turn off the headlights and keep the fog lights on. And those are actually the fog lights right now. Low beam, high beam. So right here inside the 2020 Acadia, everything actually looks really nice, and the lights are actually just perfect, just like any other GMC product. And everything looks easy to read and understand and to use. So I really like this about this SUV. But right here coming to the window switches and controls, everything is backlit and has a good amount of brightness. Of course, you could raise up the brightness and bring it down. Right here on the door, you will see the lock and unlock buttons. But coming down here, you will see the park brake, and this is actually a brightness control. So I'm gonna go ahead and raise the brightness control. It's actually all the way up now, but I'm gonna go ahead and dim it down all the way. And basically that's how it looks like dimmed. And this is all the way up. But honestly, I would drive with the brightness all the way up, because honestly the brightness isn't that high. Coming to the steering wheel, there's a couple buttons. You have, of course, the cruise control, and they are actually nice and lit. And coming to the steering wheel, to the right of the steering wheel, you will have a couple buttons to control the LCD screen in the middle, and of course you have your Bluetooth controls right here. And I'm not exactly sure what's the size of this LCD, but it's actually a good decent size, and the numbers and the gauges are actually easy to read at night, and super easy to understand. But coming to the screen, I think this one is an 8-inch touchscreen, or it might be 7. I'm not exactly sure, but honestly the screen is very responsive and looks really good at night. Coming down here, you will have some radio controls and the volume control. But coming down to the climate control, they're actually very easy to read and understand. I like the fact that actually this one has the degrees inside of it, and of course it will show it on the screen. But coming down here, you will see the new button shifter for the Acadia. Chevy and GMC are going to be using this from now on. And then right underneath the shifter, you will see USB and USB-C. And then here is going to be 4 buttons: engine auto start, traction control, hazards, and parking sensors. Right behind it, you will see the terrain select, basically sport mode, and other mode selectors actually. And then you have your lane departure and hill descent, and then the heated seats for the passenger and the driver. Coming up here, you will see a couple buttons that are nice and backlit. You have your SOS, OnStar, and the sunroof controls, and the garage controls right here. And then you have 2 LED lights, and those LED lights are actually pretty good. They are not pointed directly toward me. They're actually pointed down, but I just hate the fact that actually GMC does it this way. Their lights basically points on the door, and it points on the corner of the seat. There's not too much in the back, and there's not too much in the bottom, but actually the bottom has footwell lights. But if you open the door, there's lights in the bottom right there, which is really nice. And there is actually another light that is right here, and probably it's really hard to see now since the lights are on, but there's a small light that actually will shine on the middle console, so you guys see the middle console much better at night. So coming to the back of the Acadia, right here on the door, you will see a window button that is back lit. And coming inside of the SUV, actually there is a good amount of light, and mostly everything is actually LED in this SUV. But there's actually a good amount of light right here in the back seat. This SUV actually has 3 rows. I've noticed something, actually the back row doesn't really have that much light, just due to the fact that actually this light is between the 2nd row and the 3rd row. But actually there's a good amount of light right here. Coming to the climate control right here in the back, they're actually nice and backlit. You have a USB and USB-C, but overall the design and the lights of this SUV is actually really nice. But guys, that's it for this video. I would like to actually thank Luke for letting me come and film. So that's it for this video, guys. I hope you guys liked it, and if you guys did, please subscribe, and as always, I'll see you next time.